So over 20 years ago, I flew into Los Angeles airport right here at LAX. I was on the plane and I was arguing with God. God, what difference can I make in the United States? There's 350 million people here. I'm this American boy with a dream, with a burden, with a passion, with a calling. But I was getting overwhelmed. I kept saying, God, who am I? When I came out of the airport, the Lord gave me that scripture in Matthew, also in Isaiah. And it says, when Jesus saw them, he saw the crowd, he had compassion on them. They were sheep without a shepherd. They were harassed and they were helpless. I'll never forget stepping onto the curbside right here at LAX. And the Lord said to me, Steve, do you see them how I see them? Stop seeing the multitudes. Stop seeing the crowd. Look at them. Look at their faces. These are sheep without a shepherd. They are harassed and they are helpless. The Lord said to me, will you love them? Will you shepherd them? Will you pastor them? And that's when I said, God, I can do this. I'm up for this. And that's why we have Wave Church today.
Let's all say together, say, Dear Jesus, I ask you tonight to come into my life.
It's a year today since they actually started ministering in the church, a year today, and we want to bless them.
Who else this morning? Just raise your hand right now, all over the building. God bless you, God bless you, God bless you. Who else? God bless you, God bless you. Way, walking in it. Let's go for where God's calls it. Those who want to be with us are with us.
Thank God we got better music and better songs. We got better buildings, bigger buildings, better generations. Somebody say amen.
It is harvest time for people here this morning who are going to say yes to Jesus because someone has planted a seed, because someone else has watered it. And God today is saying it's harvest time.
Threatened by others. I don't have to compare myself to others. I don't have to live in fear of others because Jesus gave and paid it all.
What's the ultimate vision of Wave Church? Anybody know? To get heaven to party. I ask you tonight to come into my life, to forgive me of my sins. Help me, Jesus.
I'm blessed to have been a part of this church that we know as Wave for 51 years. I started coming when I moved to Virginia Beach from North Carolina, and I've been coming ever since.
What has kept me at Wave all of these years is the fact that the word's being brought forth and that we are seeing souls saved. But also, I believe that when you stick with one place and you help out in a church, longevity, your family's going to benefit, you're going to benefit, the church is going to benefit. And I just can't think of another place I'd rather be.
My most memorable moment at Wave Church, there's so many, but I will say that recently, my son, my oldest son Jackson, who's 12, started going to youth. Every week he invites his friends from school, and every week he comes home and tells me how they got saved. And just as a father, you can't beat that.
Wave Church has had a major impact on my life. The Word has refreshed me, the worship has been a blessing, and the teaching from our senior pastors has been very instrumental in what has developed over the years in my life.
The reason why I'm involved with Wave Church is because it just seems to be growing. Pastor Steve and Sharon have lots of vision, and everything that they've said they wanted to do, they've done it, and I just love to be involved. It gives me purpose. It gives me the opportunity to see lives change.
Being around a church for so long with your parents, you kind of have to come to a point where you choose God for yourself. Otherwise, it becomes secondhand revelation. And for me, the people that have been in leadership, just as well as the people who've been standing beside me throughout those years, they've helped me cement that decision all the time. Every day I have to reaffirm that decision in my life. And I feel like this place, this church, Wave Church, has given me the leadership, it's given me the friends, and it's given me the support systems to be able to make that decision and to keep straight and keep on the path.
Steve so puts it so eloquently. He says, this is our church. And when he said that, that's what I've always wanted. When it's your church, you take ownership of it. You want to do anything that's available. What is the task? Give me to do. Let me do it. I can do this. I want this place to flourish. I want this place to be built. I want the house of God to be the best place in the world. And that's what Bill and I worked for. We love this church. It is our church. He may have gone on with the Lord, but I'm still here, and I say it's my church.
In the past 20 years, Wave Church has seen miraculous impact through our campuses. We've seen over 90,000 new people walk through our doors. 78,826 people have made decisions for Christ across all of our campuses. We've secured permanent facilities on Seaboard Road and in Norfolk, completely paid off the land at Seaboard, so we are completely debt-free on all 31 acres. We've welcomed Wave Wilson and Greenville into the family and started Wave Los Angeles, a thriving Wave Church campus on the West Coast. At our Great Neck campus, we've purchased an additional 7 acres of land. We've built the Epicenter, built Wave Convention Center, and we are currently debt-free on all of the land and the construction of the Epicenter. Wave Leadership College is now fully accredited, which allows many new opportunities, including access to federal financial aid, transferability of credits to hundreds of other colleges, and international student admittance. Today, WLC graduates can be found pastoring churches, leading youth ministries, serving in local and international missions, building businesses, designing and directing multimedia campaigns, and continuing their education at their bachelor's, master's, and doctoral levels. Through our various global missions initiatives, we've supported an orphanage in Russia and sent multiple teams. We've supported many initiatives in Israel, which have impacted that nation in many ways. Through your generosity, we've helped thousands of orphans in Sudan and Uganda build better lives for themselves. Overall, we've partnered with many different organizations and given over $8 million to missions around the world. In 20 years, over 15 million people have watched our television show. In fact, we have consistently been one of the top 3 highest viewed religious programs in Hampton Roads. Over 100 nations have been able to watch over the past 20 years, and through our digital media services, we've seen thousands of individuals give their lives to Christ. Through our Wave City Care, we've impacted our own communities. Over the last 20 years, we've provided Thanksgiving meals to over 12,000 people, tutored over 9,000 young people through our One Life Mentoring, Shine Girl, and Manpower programs. We've given Christmas gifts to over 12,000 children through our Angel Tree initiative and provided groceries to over 100,000 people. We've seen over 2,000 people set free from addiction through the Regeneration Program, and through our school makeovers, we've renovated over 40 schools. And these are just some of the things that we've done in the past 20 years. We've also released books, albums, packed out conferences, seen hundreds of local churches impacted through Wave Collective, and that's just been the first 20 years. Imagine what the future holds.
Steve and Sharon, we've been friends for 44 years, Steve, 38 years, Sharon. We couldn't be proud of you guys. We were so sad to see you leave our shores, and we were hoping God was going to use you there in the wonderful nation of the United States of America. God has more than used you, and we couldn't be prouder.
You as a church have continued to move from victory to victory, so God bless you guys. We're with you from the Northwest, and the best is yet to come.
We want to say congratulations on 20 amazing years of watching God do some incredible things in your community.
We just wanted to take a moment and say a huge congratulations from us to you on 20 amazing years.
What you have done in Virginia Beach is innovative, unique, and absolutely awe-inspiring.
Our congratulations to you on this epic and momentous time of 20 years.
Wow, 20 years, that's amazing. Wow. What a privilege it's been to walk alongside and see the progress that's happened at Wave Church. What an amazing 20 years that you've had.
Steve, it only seemed yesterday, but 20 years ago, I stood on a piece of property that you wanted to build that church, and you shared with me the dream and the vision. And then I remember that day that it was finished. And I looked at one of the most beautiful auditoriums in America. And in 20 years, your church has become a point of light. Truly one of the great miracles and one of the patterns of good works that churches and pastors all over America can say, Look what God has done through a leader and his great people in 20 years.
Hey, Stephen and Sharon and everybody there at Wave Church. It's your 20th anniversary, and that is no small milestone. So from Brian and I, we just want to say hi and congratulate you, and from all your family here at Hillsong Church.
Yeah, 20 years. What a journey, huh? To see all that God's done, both physically with buildings, but also in the lives of so many people. It's always a miracle. Hard to believe for us, it's 20 years since you set sail for the East Coast of America, but that 20 years has been so filled with blessing and provision and all that God has done. And of course, we all know the best is yet to come. Congratulations. We love you, Steve, Sharon, your whole family, and the Wave Church family too.
I love Skipper and Chaz.
Who do you like to hang out with more, Uncle Josh or Uncle Sam?
Skipper. Uncle Sam got to come back to Virginia Beach. Uncle Sam, please come back. Uncle Josh is a mess without me. I'll be a good preacher like Skipper. He says, Jesus, you are my best friend, Jesus and Jax. Skipper, we're gonna go buy a trampoline for the church because I love church.
Well, church, happy anniversary. This is
Yes.
not just a celebration of Sharon and I. It's a celebration of all that God's done in the last 20 years. I remember as clear as day. I actually remember this so clear, it's a bit scary. In January 1999, we were coming from Australia. We stopped at Hawaii for New Year's.
Yep.
And then we're flying to Virginia Beach. And Wally Odom, God bless him, rang me and said to me, you need to come earlier to avoid a snowstorm. And I said, she'll be right,
We'll
Wally.
be fine.
Typical Australian, doesn't have any idea
Yeah.
about weather on the East Coast.
No,
and we got
not at
stranded
all.
in Chicago.
For that very first weekend,
The
January
Palmer
3rd.
House Hilton
Yeah.
Hotel. We walked down the stairs. The kids were so excited. They weren't sad about missing the Sunday. They were just happy to see snow. And it was 22 inches of snow. It was a snow
And it was
blizzard.
so cold.
It was unbelievably cold. We'd never experienced anything quite like it. And we went through the revolving door to take the kids out to the snow. And we didn't even make it out
It
onto
was
the footpath.
bitter cold,
It was
yeah.
so cold, we walked straight back in. And that was our first Sunday at Wave Church. Was well, back then it was Church of the Redeemer. But that was our first Sunday. We didn't even make it.
Right.
And now, 20 years later, some of the highlights, I mean, it's just been amazing. I remember
Been incredible.
when Hillsong first came to us with Hurricane Floyd and in that old building, and just an amazing night of worship. That's the night Sam dropped to his knees and
in
threw his
worship.
hands in the air and worshiped, and we got a glimpse of his future. God was showing us something of his heart. And today, of course, he was 5 or 4 at the time.
Just 5, yeah.
And
Just
now
turned
he's
5.
25.
Yeah.
And it's been amazing. Some of
Yeah.
the great things that have happened. The people, we're so grateful to God for every single person that has ever called Wave Church their home, and for everybody that's played a part. And obviously in a military city, and you know, the life and the world we live in, people come and people go, but everybody who's ever been a part of us, I just want to say we're so thankful for each and every one of you, because you've played a part in making us who we are today at Wave Church. Hey?
Yeah, and you know, we came with 3 little kids. They were elementary age, and literally you have been the village that have helped raise them.
Yeah.
So they are the young men and women they are today because of you, and even our lives. You know, when I think about some of the journey of our people in our church, what they've walked through, and as we have sat and watched as pastors. You know, their faith, your faith has just impacted us. We're better today because of you. So I just want to say thank you. It's been 2 decades, crazy to think. It, in some ways, it just goes like that. But in all of it, we are so grateful to God and so grateful to you. So thank you. And the best is yet to come.